Enkindled greetings, gentle listener. As you have wisely chosen to listen to I Should Roll, this one would like to make a request of you. During a moment of, shall we say, indiscretion, this one agreed to a deal with the Shadow Broker. This one implores you to kindly leave a rating and review with your preferred purveyor of podcasts. Do so, and the Shadow Broker will consider this one's debt clear. This one would be most appreciative and would gladly include a complimentary golden pass to the most serene blossom of the mind's dawning. However, this one will not, as bribery is frowned upon and would nullify the terms of this one's agreement. Thank you, and may the Enkindlers grant you the serenity you so richly deserve.
A podcast by the Intergalactic Improv Initiative.
Ride of the Valkyrie, Episode 6, Into the Barrows. Featuring the voices of Hans Cummings, Grové, Chase Hutchison, J.D. Kelly, and creator Kaya Renwick. Is that one aware that Hanar have the capacity to secrete toxins? Perhaps that one ought to consider being more polite to their Nedarian alien acquaintances. This one should roll. Last time on Ride of the Valkyrie, Arya allowed Gratch to leave Afterlife with all his limbs intact, on the condition that he and his friends investigate something that's killing people on Omega. Something Arya doesn't want killing people on Omega, just to be clear. Carver and Bean are still busy with the Valkyrie, so here we go.
March 15th, 2184. Terran Universal Coordinated Calendar. Omega Nebula. Sarabaric System. Omega. Rika District. Afterlife.
As they come down the stairs, Gratch is dancing. Kache walks up with them with the further flight of drinks. Passes one to Titoh, passes one to Zin, and says to you both, well, I guess that must have gone well, because you ain't dead.
Yeah, in a manner of speaking, it went well. We have to go to... I don't remember the place name. A place here in Omega and investigate husk bodies.
Husk?
But it's potentially related to our search for the artifact, and either way there may be loot along the way, or, so good news overall.
All right. Sounds like fun. Zin, you're double parked.
This one does not have a vehicle parked anywhere in Omega.
It drinks. You're double parked and drinks. You got 2 on the go. You better drink them before I buy the next round.
This one cannot possibly imbibe these in public. It would be unseemly.
This is Omega, Zin. Everything is unseemly.
Live a little.
I will gingerly set them down on the floor, and I will lower myself on top of the glasses, and with a disgusting slurping noise, kind of like... he sucks down the contents of both glasses, and you can see it. You can see the liquid, like, kind of bloom throughout his body because it's translucent. So you see, this dark stain move up and spread until it's evenly dispersed.
So beautiful.
Like ink into water.
Right. Like those cloud tanks that they use. And then I'll rise up into the air and I'll just drop the 2 glasses as my whatever passes from my mouth releases them.
So it is canon, it is considered canon, that Rincall will absolutely, almost immediately fuck up any species other than a Krogan, or probably a Vorcha.
Yep.
Zin, being a relatively low body weight and mostly water, has just imbibed 2 shots.
They're diluted by my high water content.
Yes?
It's like pouring a bottle of vodka into a watermelon.
I am still gonna ask you for a con save.
You're diluted by the high alcohol content.
All right.
Wait, should I have also done a con save? Because I'm not a Krogan.
You probably should,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
No, because you're a baddie.
I rolled a 16.
Okay, all right. That's a pass. I'll give you a pass. So that just means it hasn't knocked you out. You don't immediately have alcohol poisoning. I think you're probably still pretty drunk.
14, but to be fair, I've only had one shot. Zin has had 2.
Okay, you've only had one. Yes. You pass on the one.
Thank you.
So you're still good. If you have another one, the DC's going up.
Oh, yay.
Okay, so you guys have 2 potential ways you can go. You can go and investigate this Cerberus cruiser, or you can head to the Barrows and find the Husky Husks.
I think the Cerberus cruiser sounds like our best bet. It came from out of Omega, carrying something strange. I say we do that first.
The what now?
Oh, Cerberus. They're human,
They're dead.
terrorist organization, or whatever they want to call it.
Cerberus are
Okay, well, I didn't know.
space racists.
Well, yeah.
Pretty much.
And they may potentially have our artifact, or at least something of worth to us. So I say we start there.
I'm by me.
I'm in.
Are you staying as Gratchen?
Yes.
Love it. Okay. Are you guys are gonna go find the Cerberus cruiser?
Hell yeah.
Well, hold on.
Titoh, can you help Gratch with makeup?
Yes, Gretchen, I can reapply your makeup for you.
Thank you.
I'm floating a little lower than normal. My back 4 tentacles are kind of dragging on the ground. I'm going to float over to the Batarian and kind of float up in his face and like, this one shall return. And I'll kind of do a 360 before I float off in the wrong direction and then turn around and go into the right direction and wave a tentacle behind me at one of the Asari dancers.
Kache is going to put an arm around Zin's bulbousness and sort of like putting an arm around someone's shoulders and guide Zin towards the exit, following Gratchen and Titoh. And sort of say, hey, come with us. Let me tell you about the best-looking mandibles I ever seen on a Turian.
Amazing. Whoever would like to, I would like you guys to roll me an investigation check to see if you can find the damn cruiser.
No.
Rolled an 8.
11.
2.
16.
Okay, Kache, you've been around Omega enough that you and clearly you've had some dealings with Cerberus, so you apparently know where they like to park. Their preferred docks.
On the way to the docks, Kache does explain to the group by saying, I don't care who you are or what you are. Ain't no sense owning another human being. I don't truck with slavers.
This one agrees.
Agreed. All the more reason to go ruin their day.
Just humans?
I think he meant beings. It was a turn of phrase.
Oh.
None of us.
I got it.
So.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very
Thank the Enkindlers for that.
Hey.
They lack tentacles.
They really do.
We all lack tentacles in. Far from yourself.
Maybe we should call it Zen Call.
Zen call. Oh my god.
Instead of Ring Call.
So you head. I love that. No, it's fantastic. You head to the Tuhi district, which is a large commercial district, and most often where Cerberus likes to park. It's very busy. So how are you guys choosing to get there? Omega's a pretty big place. You can walk. You can take. There's like It's sort of like the rapid transit version of like the minecart ride around the edge, because Omega was mined out. It was mostly it was full of Ezo, right? And so they've since entrepreneurial spirits have turned the old minecart rails into sort of maglev roller coaster minecart travel. It's not usually considered to be for the faint of heart. If you're looking for a nice, calm ride, you probably hire a sky car or a shuttle. But yeah, how are you guys getting there?
I want the fun ride.
Yeah! It's the best! When you go down hills, you raise your hands up and go, whoa!
Okay, so if y'all are taking the minecart ride, I am going to ask Zyn and Titoh for another con save.
Okay.
Oh no.
Do I not need to make a con save?
You're a Krogan!
Fair.
That was a natural 20 for a total of 22.
Well done.
16.
Okay, you both pass. Zyn, you're doing real well for being 2 shots in.
This one has a titanium stomach.
And I would say, Titoh, you keep it down, but you're feeling a little like green around the gills.
Hey,
it's a bit much. Yeah. Okay, you make it to the Tuhi district, and as you're zooming around the corner, you do indeed spy the Cerberus cruiser docked on the way out. They're fairly large ships. They're not hard to spot. And yeah, it appears to be docked in the main docking area. They're not trying to hide. They are here on as legitimate business as anybody does on Omega, where everybody gets away with shit. And, you know, if your credits are good. All right, what do you do?
That was exhilarating. We should have done that instead of going to Omega. Afterlife. Again.
When you say the ship is docked, is it via an umbilical, or is it like in the asteroid in a atmospheric field, or like how is it connected?
No, umbilical. Yeah. So you would have to go through. Yeah, you'd have to go through. There's like one of the long platforms with an airlock. It's too big to easily dock at this particular point of the station in that far. So yeah, you'd have to traverse out to it.
Can we see from where we are if the umbilical docking is like well guarded, or if they have like emplacements like weaponry and things like that? Like, how is it like surveyed?
Give me a quick little perception check to see how much you can see.
No. I rolled a 1.
Can I also roll 1?
I rolled a 1. Natural 1. I see nothing. Temporary blindness due to the ring hole.
You're coming into the quote-unquote station, and like you're a little tall, something like smacks you in the head as you're rolling in. OSHA? What OSHA? Shay, you wanted to roll too?
Yeah, I rolled a dirty 20 for perception.
Oh, okay. This place is guarded to the fucking nines.
Okay.
There are troops, there are emplaced turrets. It kind of looks like as you've also spent quite a bit of time on Omega. So you're quite familiar with the way things go here. This reeks of they have bought out this bit of docking space and turned it into their own place, and are probably just shooting anybody who has a problem with it. Yeah, we're talking like Omega DLC, Cerberus level of emplacements. They've fortified. This is their spot. Good luck.
Isn't so much as docking as an incursion at this stage.
We're like one step back, but, you know, edging. If they went, 10 feet further.
And just to check on my lore real quick. It's been a while. Cerberus are like human supremacists, right? Like they don't...
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, the actual space Nazis. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so their public face is for the advancement of humanity.
Right, yeah.
They do not believe that the Alliance is doing enough to advance humanity's interests, and so they are not saying that humanity above all other races, they are saying that that humanity needs someone to advocate for them effectively.
So they're not necessarily hostile to other races? They're just...
Not immediately hostile. They're not likely to literally shoot you on sight. They are doing business on Omega.
Yeah.
Cerberus is very much a corporation.
I'm just wondering what my chance are to charm them. I'm like, they're going to be like, fish person or whatever I am.
I doubt you would not be likely unless you had something to sell them.
Right.
And even so, they're not likely to let you in.
Behind closed doors, they kidnap aliens to test on them. They trade in weaponry and biological warfare. They are... There's the public facing and lots of the public who are like, oh yeah, humanity first. Yeah, we want to further our technology. That sounds great. Yeah. And then there's the behind the scenes of, oh yeah, but we want humanity to be first because we want to dominate. We want to be in charge of everything. Yes. And it's very dark, sinister. And obviously, throughout the trilogy, it comes out of how bad they actually are.
Yeah. Yeah. Humanity first at any cost.
Right. So should I do a roll or something to just kind of see what are the chances that I have an inkling about this darker side to them, or am I like, oh yeah, whatever, they're human?
Yeah, you can. Yep. I would accept either history or insight, whichever you'd feel better with there. Whether it's so insight if it's like your personal experiences with them, or history as in what you've learned from others.
So I'm gonna go insight, and that's a total of 16.
Okay. You've had enough dealings with them to know that if you offer them something they want, they'll play ball. If you are something they want, you will disappear. You have been searching for a cure for your sister for years now. And Cerberus has emerged over the last several years as one of the leading black market research teams. And so you've probably tried your hand a few times at trying to see if they've done anything about this. And the short answer is fuck no. Because it's Drell only. It doesn't affect humans. But I think the reason that you would have found that out is that they are probably... it would not surprise me if they were doing research on Drell with Keprel's syndrome for unknown reasons.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is would I know if they'd done research on the biology of Drell for some other random reason the kind of research that I could find?
Oh, probably. I can think of several off the top of my head. Ways that you could weaponize Drell biology. You naturally secrete hallucinogens. Your mental acuity is such that if you could turn that whole solipsism thing into something weaponized, whoo, Nelly. Or to use a Drell to force to remember things, that would be a great asset. So yeah, you've had enough dealings with Cerberus that you know to be very careful around them.
But they might have stuff I want. So, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, they hoard tech like no one else.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So we might need more than us to get in?
I wish we had our human with us. We could go undercover.
But what if we don't need to get on the ship? They're here. Where are they going?
Right, we could just follow them. See if they sell something to someone.
So in front of the docking umbilical, I'm guessing there's a staging area?
Yeah.
And you said that it's personnel and equipment. Is there also are there crates of stuff there?
Oh, yeah.
Is there storage?
Yep.
And is it obvious what those things are, or are they just unmarked crates?
I'd say mostly unmarked crates. You see most of the people milling around are in the Cerberus armor. You might spy a couple of people in the uniforms rather than armored, the scientists or crew or stuff like that. It looks like it's a busy place. Yeah, I will say with Titoh's 20 perception, it looks like they're hauling some stuff off the ship. They might be putting stuff on the ship.
Nothing really appears special. It's all sort of in the Cerberus marked crates. So you guys do have a couple of options here. You could, try to keep in and get somewhere with that. You could wait for your human. That is an option.
Our pet human.
Your pet human, yeah. Won't Hunter love that? You could go off and try the other lead, or you could try another back door. Up to you guys. We have half an hour left in this session.
We can try Carver's cannon. Shoot the ship.
We definitely...
Oh, you make a good point.
Definitely don't want to be antagonizing Cerberus. Trust me.
Ow.
No, but if we're in another ship, then we could go extravehicular and enter Cerberus' ship from another direction than the umbilical.
This one can already do that.
What?
That's not a bad point.
Do explain.
This one floats? And I kind of rise up into the air and fly around. I spread out my tentacles like, whee!
But
spin around, This one is not tethered to terrestrial locomotion.
But can you survive out there?
Space.
Is that a question? Is that a question for the ages?
With the proper environmental protection.
Yeah, I don't know that a Hanar's personal Mass Effect generator would automatically provide them with oxygen, but you get them a helmet, and
like a fishbowl.
Yeah,
presumably it would work.
Can't we just get like a bubble?
Because we can spacewalk in our suits, right? We can put our masks up and then away we go. But if Zyn has the Hanar equivalent of a spacesuit, then they can just blow out and access the ship from external.
Yeah, and Zyn does have a Hanar quote-unquote hard suit. I don't know if they have it with them in their Hanar backpack.
It seems like something a little bulky to just carry around casually.
Probably.
I know you said you got your gear and brought it to Bean's ship. And I think if you'd wanted to take it with you, taking it to a strip club would probably not have been your plan.
Yeah, I probably brought my weapon knowing what I know about the reputation of Omega, but I'm pretty sure anything more bulky than that. I have the data pad copied that I have, but bulky things like a suit, no, I left that on the ship.
Taking a Cerberus ship, probably something we should do with the others.
Although I'm terribly amused by the idea of Zyn soloing a Cerberus cruiser from the outside. Like, that is a Blasto movie waiting to happen.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's exactly what Blasto would do. You'd hear gunshots from inside the ship, and then the umbilical would open, and be Blasto say, come on in.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Hey, next thing you know, we're eating Xenos.
Oh, dear.
Whilst we're drinking Zenkol.
Amazing. Okay, what are you guys doing?
I reckon we either follow wherever these guys are going, or we check out what's creating husks.
Okay, so hear me out. Now, Gratch is strongest, but Arya has people, and I need to do what Arya said, because Gratch wants to stay strongest. So let's go to the Barrows. Gratch can't be strongest if Gratch is dead.
It's awfully philosophical from Gratch.
Good deduction.
That is surprisingly wise.
The galaxy is a wondrous and diverse place, teeming with unimaginable marvels. From the Ezo-rich waters of Thessia to the fertile worlds of the Attican Traverse, there's no shortage of new experiences to explore and resources to gather. And in the 3 short decades since first contact, humanity has made incredible progress towards gaining an equal footing in the galactic community. We at Cerberus believe we can do much, much more. Join our teams of scientists, engineers, and colonists who are fearlessly striking out into the unknown. We don't shy away from a challenge, we face it head-on with top-of-the-line materials and highly trained personnel. At Cerberus, every employee is a valued asset because we believe in humanity's ultimate potential. Don't delay, speak to a representative today. Cerberus, we've got your back.
Okay, I would like those who have spent significant amounts of time on Omega, so 3 of you guys, roll me history checks on the Barrows.
No. -2. Or 13 total.
13 total, okay.
Only 11.
18 total.
Okay, so you guys all know about them. Kache, you know the most. So the Barrows, it's a new term for the very top of the asteroid. The part that still looks like a dome. The part that hasn't been fully mined out yet because it's too dangerous to do so. The Barrows are the new human name for it. Before the humans came around, it was mostly known as Motia's Folly, or Motia Moninyeti in the old Asari, or Ninyeti for short. The reason it was called Motia's Folly, Motia was one of those legendary figures that lurked around the edges of Asari mythology. Motia had fallen out of favor in Asari mythology. It was a derogatory term given to insane Asari. They'd gone the way of Motia. And so the neighborhood is called Motia's Folly because it is an incredibly dangerous neighborhood. In this particular neighborhood, the veins of Ezo are entwined with veins of conductive metallic ore. And so if you try to mine the Ezo, what happens when Ezo gets electrified? Lots of stuff. Mass effect fields all over the place. And so you try to...
Omega go boom?
Omega may go boom, yes! And so it has been left alone. There's still lots of Ezo up there, but it's too dangerous to get out at the cost of many, many lives, and you're probably not going to get all that much Ezo out anyway, so everyone's just left it alone. Therefore, it has become the slummiest slums of Omega. This is where you go if you have literally nowhere else to go. Kache, you know all of this about that. You know more of the history, I would say. And Gratch and Titoh, you've probably just steered clear. It's a dangerous place. No sense in going. But that's where Arya sent you, to the Barrows.
As we take a nice long elevator loading screen ride up to the Barrows, Gratch explains to all of you everything that they know about the Barrows and the history of it, as Kaya has just...
Kache?
You mean Kache?
You said Gratch.
Yeah, Kache explains it as...
Yeah.
Oh, did I? Sorry.
It's okay. I'm like, wow.
It's
All right,
because
everybody.
he's strongest. I just...
Wells everything.
Gratch is going to teach you a lesson.
And Kache is going to be the one to tell it to
Kache.
you. Yeah. Okay, you guys get up there after your lovely elevator loading screen.
The Barrows.
So I'm going to say the only way to get there, the mine carts will get you most of the way, but then it's on foot, and it's not like you're going through old mining tunnels, and you get to, there are honest to God campfires out here. That is the level of technology we are at. That is how we heat things. There is just enough oxygen in the atmosphere being kept within these to have these fires. The people up here are destitute, all races. You find exemplars of everyone, and they all look universally down on their luck.
This is certainly this is a crevice of excrement.
Delicately put.
Yeah, it's about as welcoming as a Clixon's cloaca.
Wow!
Do you speak from experience?
It's just a turn of phrase.
This one understands.
you don't want to know.
Alright, let's just do what we came for. Get out of here.
Right. Do I know where the Arya said about the doctor who's been trying to find out about stuff is?
How long have you been on Omega recently?
Off and on, Kache would have been to Omega to get work.
Okay.
And so Kache has only spent time in between contracts on Omega, knowing the rules of, don't fuck with Arya and things like that, and learning that kind of stuff. So, and learning the history and swapping stories with the other mercenaries at the bars and whilst on missions, whilst chatting in between things that they needed to do. So probably, somewhere in the region of 5 years, but in weeks between jobs at a time over the past maybe 10 to 15 years.
Okay. Then yeah, definitely. You would definitely know of this guy. He's cropped up in several stories more and more lately, mostly because this guy will not quit. Most people trying to do good on Omega give up pretty damn fast. But this guy has not. He set up his clinic in one of the poorer districts in Omega, the Gozu district, a few years ago, and he offers services to anyone. Nobody gets turned away. He's worked out a deal currently with the Blue Suns, who are in control of the district, and they don't bother him, and he doesn't bother them. And this is after this. There's a rumor going around that a couple of Blue Suns tried to get some protection money out of him, and he quite simply shot them in the head. And so, yeah, this Solarian is kind of gaining a bit of a legendary name for himself. So yes, you have indeed heard about this doctor. And yes, it is exactly who you think it is.
It sounds familiar.
Yes. I double-checked the timeline. It makes sense. He's already there.
Does that rhyme with Schmorden?
It sure does.
So would I have also heard about this guy? Because I've been an Omega, and he kind of sounds like the kind of person I'd want to know.
Yeah, probably. I would say so. So yes, you guys have definitely heard of Morden's clinic. I will leave it entirely up to you whether you've gone and visited or gotten any sort of treatment from him at any given point in time. But he's there. He's been there for a few years. He's doing his thing. He is asking for anyone to bring specimens of this particular whatever the hell is killing people to research.
I just had a thought, backstory thought. If I have met him before, which I kind of feel like I would have, do you think it would make sense if I kind of had a deal with him as like I could bring, if I found anything that he might help me or at least give me leads on stuff because he's a doctor and a scientist.
I think that would be perfectly reasonable.
Okay, cool.
Morden definitely seems drawn to like impossible causes, so
he knows me sort of,
and tends to have a specialism in impossible diseases.
Exactly.
A little bit.
So
a little bit. My kind of guy.
Particular interest for you.
Yeah.
All right. What are you guys doing?
We head to the clinic.
Okay, I will say that if you're going back to the clinic, that is all the way back in Gozu district, well away from the Barrows.
Oh.
So the bodies are in the Barrows, and we need to bring the bodies to the doctor.
Yes.
I see.
Sorry, I was not clear.
It was the doctor was in the Barrows.
No.
In a clinic in the Barrows.
No.
Okay. Would we have gone to the Barrows then, or as we both know, Morden, would we have gone to the clinic in the first place?
I mean, that's up to you guys, but I mean, Arya did tell you that the doctor wants bodies.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
you might have gone to the Barrows first to get things to then bring them back.
I think we would have done that to save time.
She had Gratchen right there if she wanted a body.
Hey! Gratchen's body stays alive.
They wanted a fresh body. Gratchen is not fresh.
I watched a month ago.
Gratchen's only 6 years old.
Isn't Rincall a preservative, though?
Pickled Gratch.
Jesus Christ.
Do I see any bodies?
Do a perception check.
Okay.
All right.
Seems reasonable.
Ooh, natural 19? With a -1. 18.
Ooh.
Okay.
5 from Kache.
8.
I got a dirty 20.
Nice.
Yeah!
Hey, okay, so Gratch and Zyn, you guys spy. So there are people on the ground here already. Like everyone's a little bit not well. But you do notice that there are some people on the ground who are like conspicuously a good bit further away from all of the other people. And they don't particularly, they're not like slumped against a wall, like sleeping or like lying down sleeping or like just hunched over or whatever. They're kind of like ragdolled on the ground. Dead body if you've ever seen one.
How far away?
I don't know, maybe like 100 feet or something like that.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go over and check it out.
Okay. Investigation checks.
Yes.
If you're helping, you guys you can both do them, or you can do advantage, whatever works.
I got a natural 20.
3.
I will also float over there, trying desperately to keep my trailing tentacles out of whatever is on the ground here, but probably failing.
I heard Titoh got a natural 20. What did you guys also roll?
An 11 from me.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 1.
Okay.
I'm too busy trying to keep my tentacles from dragging through excrement.
Probably literally.
This one tastes everything this one touches.
Okay, so Titoh, I think the reason you get a nat, I'm going to honor your nat 20 by saying that the first body is a Drell. There's a couple, but the first one is a Drell, and so you're familiar with the anatomy. And when you turn it over, it's an older man. You'd say probably in his like 50s to 60s, so older than you, not like old. People don't make it that old on Omega usually. But yeah, a middle-aged Drow man with yellowy green scales, and at first you think he's gotten like some sort of tattooing or something, which isn't, most Drow it doesn't really take to the scales very well. But no, it's like lightning up his arms and across his chest and up his face and curving over, and it's all this forked fractal patterns of lightning. And you smell ozone. And yeah, he's very clearly dead. And when you turn him over, his eyelids roll open, and his eyes are entirely, they're like milky white. There's no pupil, no nothing, just milky white.
Okay. Should I do any sort of rolls to see if I've seen anything like this before, or
you can?
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Should it be medicine? Would that make sense? Or first aid?
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
In that case, I get a 25.
You have never seen anything like this before in your entire life.
Wow.
Cool.
And yes, that's with a 25.
Okay.
There are a couple of bodies there. The Drell is the first one you look at. And there are a couple more. There's an Asari, there is a Batarian, and they show the same symptoms. The same lightning-like, emergent tattooing, this burning, and milky eyes. And you can see particularly strongly on the Asari, because she has the softest skin and the least amount of markings, that there's also discoloration of the skin, like it's turning gray.
Are there any... You said there were campfires, so are there people alive, obviously, around?
Yeah.
Like, I would like to reverently close the eyelids of, all these milky-eyed people.
Mm-hmm.
And then just go ask questions, these people just sitting amongst these dead bodies. And ask, what the hell? what's making...
Okay, I will say that you see a Quarian, a human, another Asari, and... who else? And a female Turian are the closest ones.
I'll go up to the Asari.
Okay. She looks pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely maiden stage. Hard to tell how much younger than that. Tealy skin, very thin, as is everybody down here. And she looks at you very warily as you approach.
I'll say to her, hey, we're here to help. What's going on with these bodies? What killed them?
Roll me a charm. See if she'll talk to you.
Ooh, natural
Whilst
20.
that's happening is...
Hey, nice.
Ooh,
Awesome.
On a roll of those charms.
Okay, Kache, what are you doing in the meantime?
Is there any empty... this is a bit like a slum, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's little shacks, lean-tos, that kind of thing. Are there any that sort of is there a tarp or some tatty cloth or
Something that you could wrap the bodies in?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Easy. I won't even make you roll for it. You can find stuff like that.
Cool.
None of it's going to be
lay that on the
particularly great. It's all a little threadbare. It's all a little it's all shit.
No,
but yeah,
it's just to hold them together so I can carry a bunch of them at once, basically.
Sure.
I'd like to get maybe 3 bodies and pop them on top of each other and then wrap it in the tarp so I can pick it up.
Okay, awesome. I will say you can go ahead and do that. No problem. Okay, you rolled a nat 20. Nice. So the Asari, at first watches you nervously, and then when you say you're here to help, you can see the hope and heartbreak on this young girl's face, and she immediately clings to it. Any scrap of hope in this nasty existence is something that she must hold on to. And she makes as if to grab your hand and then pulls back, she's not sure she's allowed to, and she wrings her hands and she says, "It's been weeks now. Sometimes people will go into the old mining tunnels to see if they can scrape out a little bit of Ezo and sell it, and most of the time, they just lose a hand or whatever because of the Mass Effect fields, but lately they just come back wrong, and most of them they just somebody will put them out of their misery before it gets too bad, but sometimes we can't, and we just they talk themselves to death, and we put them over there. That's all we can do."
What do you mean when you say they're wrong? They're acting strange?
They smell wrong, and they don't speak any languages that anybody recognizes, and they have the weird, and she makes this motion on her arm, and you can tell that she's motioning the lightning markings, and they can't see. You can see it in their eyes, and she's terrified. You can tell, as she's going through she's recounting this to you, but they're twitchy and everything. She points to the Quarian, who is very much slumped against something, and her enviro suit hangs so loose on her. This girl has probably not had anything decent to eat in weeks to months. But she points out the Quarian and says, "Nargela, she had an Omni tool and she tried to use it to scan one of the Batarians that came back, and it just shorted out. Anything that we try to do, anything that runs, it just shorts out. It doesn't work anymore.
So, like some kind of, like in field, like some kind of electromagnetic pulse, something like that.
She shrugs. I never made it that far at university. I don't remember. I don't know.
She's kind of just saying it to herself, like as she's like thinking it through, like what it could be. And just a couple more questions. When did this start?
She takes a deep breath and she thinks about it. Says, it's really hard to keep time up here. I know, it's been weeks now, I think.
And do you ever hear anything coming from the Ezo mines? Like when they come back, are they loud noises? Are they gunshots? Anything?
She shudders. And she says, no gunshots. Just the hum.
A hum. Is it a consistent hum? Or is it a sudden, loud hum?
It starts real quiet, like you can feel it in your bones, and then sometimes it gets, if you're trying to sleep, it's like you can't hear anything but the hum. But and then it goes away again.
Okay. I'm gonna reach into my pocket and like pull out a few rations, like a few days worth of rations, and give it to these people who are around me. And say like, thank you for the information. Like, please eat something, essentially.
The Asari immediately tears it open and like shoves the whole thing in her mouth. Like just about choking on it as she tries to get it down. And once she does, she sorts through, are any of them dextro?
Remind me what that is. Dexter.
So for Turians and Quarians.
Oh,
are
right.
Any of them dextro amino? The rations.
I think I mostly got ramen.
Now the question, is ramen not nutritional enough?
I mean, maybe they put vitamins in it, like multivitamins into the ramen like they do with cereal. I don't know.
I mean, I suppose the broth...
A fortified part of your complete
fortified
lunch.
Ramen. Yeah, I'd say it's ramen fortified with dextra.
Okay. So she sorts through and she finds a couple of dextro amino rations, and she makes sure that the Turian gets one who's nearby, and then she starts very, very carefully crushing the other one inside the package, and she looks at the quarry and she looks at you and she says, "Do you have any water? I'm so sorry to ask, but Nargela can't eat this if I don't turn it into paste."
Yeah, I've got water.
For the induction port.
Yeah,
the emergency induction port. Yeah, I'll just hand her like my canteen because
This one should have saved that Rincall instead of imbibing it in public.
I need less water than the average sentient, so I will give her a lot of my water.
Okay, and she starts turning the crushed ramen into a paste so that she can feed the Quarian.
Wow, it's like university food.
Yeah, super university food. Yes, Chase.
Hey guys, there's a cave over here. And Gratch is gonna start walking.
Gratch, no!
Love it.
What?
Did you not hear anything?
Turns, stops and turns. Hear what? Gratch is looking through bodies for credits.
You did not find any.
I'll just stop and look back.
I will stop Brett from killing himself by going into the hum tunnel.
Can I throw a cluster grenade in there?
No, absolutely not!
You have been listening to I Should Roll, Ride of the Valkyrie, Episode 6, Into the Barrows, featuring the voices of Hans Cummings as Zynamondan, Grové as Titoh Raas, Chase Hutchison as Gratch, J.D. Kelly as Kache, and Kaya Renwick as everyone and everything else. Music and sound effects are used under Creative Commons or royalty-free licenses. For the extended credits, please see the show notes. And for more information, please visit ishouldroll.com. Find us everywhere on social media at ishouldroll, and don't forget to leave us a review. I Should Roll is an Intergalactic Improv Initiative production. This fan podcast is a transformative work and is not affiliated with Electronic Arts or BioWare. Thank you for listening. Have a pleasant day.
This Gratch's favorite podcast on the extranet. Listen to it, or you're dumb.